Captain America 4 performed well with the mass audience. Over its opening weekend, the film managed to earn $200 million, surpassing the total box office earnings of Madame Web and Kraven the Hunter combined. Moreover, it signals that with Bob Iger's return at the very least, Disney's marketing department has fully rehabilitated itself. After all the companies successfully sold such controversial projects as the Moana sequel and the Lion King prequel, it is still too early to declare Cap 4 a success or failure, but for the film to break even, it needs to reach around $400 million, which in the absence of competitors is an achievable goal. However, things could have been different. More and more reports about behind-the-scenes problems and even conflicts between the creators and some actors continue to surface online, and of course, numerous scenes were cut from the film. We will analyze all of this in the next couple of minutes. Let's start with the pressing issues. Insider Daniel Richtman claims that the filming of Avengers 5 has been postponed from March to April this year, supposedly due to an unfinished script and general disorganization of the production team. Interestingly, this information emerged right after the mixed reaction to New Captain and news that Disney is rolling back its agenda-driven policies, shifting focus to proven assets. Coincidence? Unlikely. It seems more like Marvel has made further course corrections. Anthony Mackie was initially positioned as the central figure for the new Avengers, but that now seems doubtful. He will appear in Doomsday and Secret Wars, as the actor himself has confirmed. However, his role will likely be reduced and screen time will shift to characters like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, or even Bucky Barnes, who according to rumors will help form a new Avengers team at the end of Thunderbolts. Chris Evans will also be in the films, which isn't great news for Mackie. It feels like the Russo brothers will not bother untangling the mess that has accumulated in the MCU over the past 5 years. Instead, they will take the path of least resistance and release Doomsday as a full-fledged sequel to Endgame with Robert Downey Jr. at the helm. It's easier than trying to make sense of characters like Ms. Marvel, Shang-Chi, or the Eternals. That's why it's doubtful that Wilson will be put on the same level as Tobey's Spider-Man, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, or even Doctor Doom played by Robert. Most likely Doomsday will start from scratch, and the shortened runtime of Captain America 4 down to just 90 minutes confirms that. Additionally, there is a lot of negative press surrounding Brave New World, which could impact its box office performance. For example, sources from Vulture claim that the film's set was plagued by creative chaos. Entire storylines were removed. Some crew members had little experience working on blockbusters, and everyone knew the final result would be subpar. The cherry on top, according to media reports, was Harrison Ford, who, quote, acted like a spoiled child, was constantly dissatisfied, and overall created an uncomfortable environment for the creative team. So for the character's next appearance, the studio may part ways with Ford and simply keep Hulk permanently red, avoiding the need to show his human face. A similar approach was used for Juggernaut in the last Deadpool film. Another amusing moment is the leader's appearance. Many were dissatisfied with the villain's look, which resembles a zombie from The Last of Us, rather than Hulk's iconic nemesis. But apparently that wasn't always the case. Just months before the premiere, promo art surfaced online, showing a completely different design for the leader. This suggests that Marvel decided to alter his look at some point during production. However, contracts with toy manufacturers had already been signed, and companies like Funko ultimately released figurines with the original design, which never made it into the film. Another interesting detail is that the new Cap movie lacks the classic Marvel Studios intro with hero showcases and epic music. Instead, the creators styled the text like the openings of classic 70s thrillers. Some speculate that Disney is subtly hinting that this project has little connection to the main MCU and shouldn't be expected to significantly impact it in the future. Yet it could have, considering the massive number of scenes cut from Brave New World. We learned about this from a leaked plot months ago, and all key details turned out to be accurate in the final film. This means that lines from the leaked script that didn't make it to the screen were removed at various stages of production. For instance, Amadeus Cho, a popular Marvel Comics character and one of the versions of Hulk, was supposed to appear in the film. His debut was planned for a scene where Sam and Joaquin arrive at Stark Industries to learn more about the leader's plans. In his scene, Amadeus Cho establishes himself as one of the corporation's brightest minds, and someone Pepper Potts trusts deeply. From Stark's building, Cap and Falcon would then head to Celestial Island to intervene in a conflict between the US and Japan, followed by a battle with Red Hulk. The outcome of this battle was also originally different. In March 2023, when the film was still titled New World Order, Avengers 5, The Kang Dynasty, paparazzi captured scenes of a large-scale funeral for the movie. Flags, soldiers' epic atmosphere, it all pointed to the death of a major character. But Aleph Tyler, who filmed the funeral shots, explicitly stated who it it was. General Ross, played by Harrison Ford, was supposed to die in the movie. This makes sense, given reports that Marvel is not planning to work with Ford long-term. The actor is already 82, making him less viable for the next decade of the MCU. The irony is that the old, failing Marvel wanted to kill off the character, while the new, rebooted Marvel chose to keep him. This suggests there was only one logical reason behind all these changes: the setup for World War Hulk. The theatrical version features the leader warning Sam about an impending multiversal threat, but in the original cut, the leader stated that Red Hulk was just the beginning. The camera then cut to Amadeus Cho, who was injecting himself with gamma serum and transforming into a green monster, teasing World War Hulk. At first glance, this seems like bad news, suggesting Marvel abandoned the World War Hulk storyline. But in reality, it's quite the opposite. Think back to Hercules, Clea, Eros, and many other forgotten characters who were crammed into post-credit scenes with no follow-up. Hercules, for example, was introduced in the disastrous Thor 4, and now the character is associated with a failed movie. The same could have happened with the World War Hulk teaser. So the changed post-credit scene is actually good news for two reasons. First, Marvel's producers have stopped throwing teasers around recklessly. Second, it appears they are genuinely focused on Doomsday and don't want to distract audiences from it. The fact that the World War Hulk teaser was cut from Cap 4 is likely a sign that Marvel still plans to make that film, just with a new script crafted within the framework of the reboot, free of agendas and other constraints.